Hi Rockets, I hope you enjoyed the video about Albert Durer's and how he created artwork using a very special way called a woodcut print. Now the one that we're specifically looking at of Durer's is the one based off of his rhinoceros. This is probably one of his most popular ones that you would see, and why I picked this one is because of how he used all of these wonderful patterns inside of the rhinoceros. Now, another really quick fun fact is that the fact that he had actually never seen a rhino in real life before. So all the images how he created this image is by looking at other artworks from other artists, and that's how he created his artwork. He had actually never seen a real rhino before in his life. So, hopefully you guys have. So what you guys are going to need today, you are going to need a pencil, an eraser, and you're going to need some crayons. That's all you're going to need today. So the best kind of paper that you're going to need is if you could find some cardstock. It's a little bit thicker paper. But if you don't have cardstock, if you have just office paper or lined paper, whatever you have, I promise it's going to work out great. I just want you to be drawing with me today. And so for this first part of the lesson today, we're not going to finish it today. We're going to be coloring next week. But today we're going to get our rhino drawn. Now, just like in class, I provided on the next slide a drawing guide, so if you want to print that off, or if you want to just watch this video and come back to this, you can use the drawing guide to help you draw it. If not, just pause the video as we go along, and I'm sure you guys are going to do great. Okay, so first of all, make sure your paper is going horizontal, that's side to side, not up and down. And then we're going to start with our first shape up here in the corner, and you're going to make a big U. Now make sure that you don't go all the way to the edge, that you leave some spaces on the edge. After you make your big U, you are then going to connect the top of the U with another curved line. It kind of looks like a crescent moon, kind of, doesn't it? There we go. Now after you get this first shape drawn, you're going to then create the face of the rhino. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another curved line here for the nose, and then I'm going to add two curved lines inside, color it in for the eyes, and then a little line curved up for the mouth, and then two curved lines apiece for the ears. Now again, you can pause this at any time and get caught up when you're done drawing. Now after I get the face done, I'm then going to start by making the body, and I'm going to start way up here. I'm going to draw a big curved line almost down to the bottom of the paper, but you don't want to go all the way down. After I get that big curved line all the way down, I'm going to then make his feet. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a horizontal line and then a vertical line. Horizontal line, vertical line, up and down. Horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. And you're going to do this until you get 1, 2, 3, and 4 legs. And then you're going to come straight up. Then we have the body of our rhino. Now after you get the body done, you can then add a tail with some hair on the end. And then to finish up his toes here, I'm actually going to add 3 bumpy, curvy lines for his toes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, that's the basic, oh, actually, I forgot, his rhino needs one more thing on his face. He needs his other horn coming out right there. Now, that's the basic drawing of our rhino. So after you get that done, you are then going to break up the inside of the rhino's body, so that way we can add some patterns in a little bit. And how you're going to break this up is you're going to include 7 lines. Now these need to be straight lines, so they can go from one part of the rhino to the other part. There's 1. I can also do a line, diagonal line going from here to here. That's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Let's go 5 and 6 Need one more. I want to try to even out my spaces here. This is a pretty big space over here. I'm going to add one more here, 7. That way I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 areas that I can add patterns, because I don't want to add patterns inside of a space here. So after you get that far on your drawing, boys and girls, you are then going to take a black crayon and you are going to trace over your lines, kind of like how we do with Sharpies. But we're going to use crayons because we are going to add color next week using either watercolor or with markers. And I'll show you both of those ways next week. But for today, I want you to trace using a black crayon. Okay? Now, I've already got that done on 9. Here we go. So that way I can show you the next step, which is to start adding pattern to your Rhino, inside of your Rhino. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take any color that I want. I'm going to start off with my favorite, and you guys should know this, violet. And I'm going to pick a pattern to go inside one of these shapes. So on one of the slides, it tells you different kinds of patterns you can include. You can do a castle line, you can do zigzag lines, swirly lines, you can do vertical, horizontal, diagonal lines, you can do star shapes, you can use circle shapes, square shapes, all different kind of patterns. The main thing is a pattern is a line or a shape that is repeated. So that's the key thing from this lesson, is just to make sure that you pick a line and that you repeat it. So I'm just going to do 2 for you today. I'm going to do this wavy line. I really like this wavy line. Kind of looks like a mermaid, kind of. And you can pick any color you want to make this line. And then you're going to fill just one shape with that line. And then you're going to switch colors. I'm going to switch to this green. I kind of like this green. And I'm going to fill my next shape up with my next favorite line, which is swirls. And I'm going to fill that whole shape up with swirls. And so what I want you boys and girls to do to get ready for color next week, I want you to go through and I want you to fill each one of these shapes up with all kinds of patterns, and to get ready for our color portion next week. Now remember, do not fill anything in here. I will have a picture of where I stopped at the end of the slideshow, so that way you can kind of see a good stopping point. But then please make sure that you put your artwork somewhere that's going to stay safe. So when we come back next week, you're going to pull back out your artwork, and I'm going to show you a couple of new ways to add some more color to it to finish off your drawing. Okay, boys and girls, I will see you next week.